I'm good. Hi everyone, welcome back to the Navigant Credit Union Broadcast Center. I'm GoLocal News editor Kate Nagel. It is the political season. I am joined today by a candidate making an official announcement, throwing his hat back in the ring for 2018. Billy Hunt, thank you for coming in today. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
District 68.
District 68, yep. Bristol Warren. We're the southern part of the Warren District and the northern part of the Bristol District. And Ken Marshall is the incumbent rep. I ran against him in the last election. I got 38% of the vote, which I was very happy about. I only spent about $1,400 in my campaign, and compared to the significant amount that my opponent spent, and I got 38% of the vote, which was the second highest percentage of any Libertarian candidate in the country in a two-way race for state legislature. So I was very proud of that.
Okay, very good. So here we are eyeing 18. You've tossed your hat back in the ring. Why are you running again?
Well, I think that, like me, like most people in the state, we're very interested in the results of what our legislators are doing up there at the State House. There's a lot of talk about what is the initiatives, what are the programs, how they're spending our money, but when they actually come to talk about what the results of their actions are, the silence is deafening, as they say.
So you're going to be at the Libertarian event this evening here. Explain to folks, I mean, we've seen Libertarian candidates come before. We had the candidate profile when you ran in 16. Why the Libertarian Party?
Well, the Libertarian Party is the party of principle. It's something that I kind of have always gravitated towards them, and about 2 or 3 years ago we launched a significant rebranding and a relaunch of the party. We're a lot more organized now, we have a lot more resources, and we're growing. We are a very small party within the last couple of years, and we've made a lot of noise and a lot of impact on issues that are very important to us, like the truck tolls, like the Paw Sox, funding of the Paw Sox Stadium and the like. So very happy about that.
Well, we're expected to be hearing from the Senate about their new revised legislation for the Paw Sox. I'm expecting we will probably hear from you once you get a look at that.
Yes, I was happy to testify at the Senate hearings down at Roger Williams in Bristol. I was part of the process. You can find the video of my testimony on my Facebook page. Hope with Hunt is the hashtag, and my website, and you can see where we stand on the issues and why we think it's a bad idea for the taxpayers of the state of Rhode Island.
So talk with us a little bit. You've run before, and you've run as a Libertarian. When you talk with voters in your district and they want to get your ear about what's important to them, what do you hear most from constituents?
Well, I think most people want the government to get out of their way. Small business owners and people that work for small businesses don't like the government imposing these crazy ideas, and I like to call it the Rube Goldberg version of trying to get economic development in the state. If we, get a grant here, we put a program in here and a tax incentive in here, maybe it'll all work out and actually amount to economic growth. I think we need to go back to the basics of blocking and tackling, and just do some serious tax reform to help the everyday Rhode Islander, get a little bit more money in their pockets.
Now, 18, of course, we're looking at the gubernatorial race as well. At this point, don't know of a Libertarian candidate in the race. Looking at independent Joe Trillo, looking at a Republican primary, and of course, Democratic incumbent Gina Raimondo. As a Libertarian, how do you see the field?
I think that both parties tend to focus a lot of effort onto the statewide offices like governor. I think we can get a lot of work done at the state legislature where we can have our most impact. I think that there's a lot of issues that go on in the state, but until we get something like the line item veto for the governor, they really don't have a lot of power other than the bully pulpit. And the best thing I think we could do is to get someone out of that position that just is spending a lot of money on PR people and wasting taxpayers' monies on stuff that isn't really affecting the average everyday voters' lives.
So you mentioned line item veto, you mentioned the Paw Sox. As you go around the state, give us a little more of the Billy Hunt platform.
Yeah, sure. I've been a strong vocal opponent of government spending on special interests. I'm very opposed to having the government choose winners and losers. I think that we should make a level playing field with lower taxes for everyone so that everybody has the opportunity to succeed. The Libertarian Party of Rhode Island offers a principled free market perspective so that people have the opportunity to succeed, and it's an opportunity. It's not a guarantee. That's really what our philosophy is.
Okay, you're officially kicking off now. We're fully underway into campaign season. What do you expect the next weeks to hold for you as you move forward with your campaign?
Sure. We're just getting started. We're having a big event tonight at the up in Pawtucket at the Break Time Bowling Alley at the Hope Artiste Village. We're really trying to get some volunteers to come and join our organization. Obviously we're doing fundraising. You can donate on my website, hopewithhunt.com. Really, we're trying to get people involved and engaged. There's been a lot of talk about getting younger people involved in the political process, and I invite anybody that has any interest in running for office, reach out, let us know. We'd love to talk with you and see if you might be a good fit for the Libertarian Party.
And as we see what's taking place in Washington right now, obviously there's a lot of division, as there's been in recent years. But again, a lot of times people ask about the Libertarian Party. I mean, is it for folks who want another option? But there's, again, specific, very limited government involvement, which is really the core tenet of the party. Is that if a person is thinking of another option, why the Libertarian Party?
Well, I think that, a lot of times people get involved with rooting for the laundry of their political party. They're a Democrat and a Republican, and they really don't stay true to their principles. One of the things I pride myself on in my debates and my platform when I was running for office last time around was having a principled and a solid answer on every question I was asked in the debates. I wasn't dancing around the issues or trying to find a way that was politically expedient or, straddling the fence, as it were. So I think if anybody is looking at the Libertarian Party, especially in Rhode Island, they can count on having a principled perspective that's going to shoot straight and tell you how we feel and let the voters decide at the end of the day.
So I just had House Finance Chair Marvin Abney in yesterday. They just had an update about how the dire budget predictions, looking at a $60 million shortfall for the actual fiscal year we're in right now, even larger, over $200 million potentially for fiscal year 19. How does Rhode Island even begin to address these financial shortfalls that we're possibly facing?
Well, obviously we can't do it all in one bite, as they say. As my opponent likes to say, he doesn't want to eat the apple all in one bite. But we need to take an actual approach and to really analyze the spending that goes on the state and start making some pretty large cuts on, the duplication of efforts and the wasteful spending and the PR people and, all the things that add up to, small amounts that add up to a lot of money. Legislative grants is a big issue that I've been against. It's about $3.2 million in the General Assembly's operating budget that goes towards legislative grants, which just amount to funding for advertisement for the legislators that are up there in the State House, which I don't agree with.
That's been a very controversial issue. We've covered that here, certainly. Before we let you go, I appreciate your stopping in. It kind of was a logical course from the East Bay through Providence up to Pawtucket. We just happened to luck out here in studio as you're making your announcement today, your official throwing your hat back in the ring. While we have you here and you have the camera and you have their viewers, anything else that you want folks to know about you, about Billy Hunt, the person, the candidate, why you're here and why you're running in 18?
Well, I'm really running for office because I truly do care about the state. I want to see some positive change, and I want to make a difference in this state. It's one of the people my age that actually stuck around. I bought my house in 2013 in Warren. Me and my wife work hard. She's in real estate. I'm in the insurance industry. We see on the front lines every single day what happens in the state and how the average everyday business owner and homeowner and everybody is dealing with the poor management of the state. And we really want to make a difference, and that's why I'm running for office, and I'm asking for your vote. Next November, so a little bit way off, but
seems a way off. But you know how quickly it gets here.
It does. So
here's a kind of question for you while you're in here. What might you do differently? You said, you got that 38% of the vote, as you said, the second highest for a Libertarian candidate across the country. You obviously made a huge impact the first go around. Do you have any, if you could say, this is maybe what I'll do differently this time around?
Well, I walked my entire district last time, which was very useful. My big regret was I didn't get started earlier. I really announced my candidate last year at when we filed for candidacy, which was in June, and didn't really get started until
you're getting a good head start this year.
July. So the one thing I'm doing differently is we're getting a very good head start. We're going to have, I already got my signs from last year, so we don't have to wait on that. And we're going to start doing some fundraising and really getting some volunteers. And I'm happy to say that the party has come a long way, even from when I ran last year, and we've got some good momentum and some good people that are helping us out. So I'm hoping that'll put me over the top.
Okay, Billy Hunt for District 68 making the official announcement before the Libertarian event in Pawtucket this evening. I'm sure we'll talk with you moving forward.
Thank you so much for
Billy
having
Hunt.
me.
Okay, I'm going to join you around the corner and we'll welcome our next guest. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with our next guest here in the studio.